question being, the Holloway family is thankful that this is happening. They're hoping it brings them some closure. Could it also bring additional charges? Because right now it's just financial crimes and extortion charges. Could he be charged in Natalie's murder?
It's possible, Marni, but there's been so many years since the murder that if the authorities had developed enough evidence to charge Sloot already with the murder, I think they would have done so already. But these charges that he's facing now of extortion, they will put him in prison for many years, and that's on top of the current prison sentence he's serving in Peru. So the Peruvians allow Sloot to be extradited here, is going to allow it. He's going to face trial here. And then right after the trial, no matter what happens, he's going back to Peru to serve the rest of his murder sentence there. So I think no matter what, he's going to be serving much of the rest of his life, if not the rest of his life, behind bars.
And in these proceedings, might we learn more about what actually happened to Natalie and give that family some pieces of evidence or pieces of closure that they've so desperately been looking for?
I would love to say yes, but it would be dependent on what Sloot says. Perhaps he'll like to cut a deal, but it's hard to believe anything he says. He's lied repeatedly about Natalie Holloway and her disappearance over the years. He tried to extort Natalie Holloway's mother, saying that he will point her to her remains and give up information. This guy is a sociopath, and he's a murderer. It's been proven in court. He murdered another woman, and it looks like he murdered Natalie Holloway as well. I just don't think we're going to ever get to the bottom of it unless Sloot comes clean one day, and who knows if that day will ever come.
Well, we shall see. Another case, Dave, I want to get your thoughts on that you and I have spoken extensively about here on NewsNation is the Oxford High School shooter, Ethan Crumbly, and his parents. A 3-judge panel has now made the decision that they will stand trial, James and Jennifer Crumbly, on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Reading the opinion from these 3 judges, what was their reasoning for the case to move forward?
This is an unusual case, Marni. This is not your typical, hey, let's blame the parents because the kid acted out. These are parents who enabled their son to get to this point. And in fact, not only did they buy him a gun after it was clear that he was mentally disturbed, but they turned a blind eye when he acted out in class. When he was searching for ammunition in class and was caught by a teacher, the mother didn't respond to the request from the school to talk to them. In fact, she texted her son, LOL, I'm not mad at you, just don't get caught. I mean, that's a unique case where in situations like this in the future parents will be charged, but to get to that point, you need a lot more than just turning a blind eye. You need active enabling your son to be a killer.
And will the parents' actions, Dave, after the shooting took place, the fact that they ran, that they hid, that they drained his bank accounts, will that come into play in this trial?
Oh, I think so. I think so. It goes to their state of mind. It goes to the fact that they are just terrible parents. I mean, look, they left their son alone in a prison cell while he's crying out for help. They ghosted him. They ran. And, when it was time to face the music, they got themselves a private fancy lawyer. They left their son with a public defender. Now, not all that stuff will come in, but some of it will come in because it goes to the fact that they acted recklessly all along. It was always about them. It was never about taking care of their son. And it's about time that parents of school shooters be held accountable. If they're not held accountable in this case, when?
Right. And I guess the bigger question then is the precedent that would then put into place if they are found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Will that be a challenge for the prosecution in this case?
Well, the appellate court has already said that the charge can go forward. And so at this point, it won't be a challenge that they're going to set a precedent. There's going to be based on the facts of this case. The higher court has said you can go ahead with this unusual theory of the case that the parents are responsible. But look, we've never seen a case like this. We've never seen parents like this who buy their mentally disturbed son a gun and then LOL him during his time of need. And then when he was brought to the principal's office after he was drawing disturbing images of killing people, the parents never told the school that he had access to a gun, never checked his book bag, and refused to take him home that day. So these parents deserve what they're getting. I'm glad my colleague over in Michigan filed these charges against them.
Right. And if they're willing to throw their son under the bus and abandon him, what is the likelihood they throw each other under the bus to save themselves?
It's a good point. Their marriage was on the rocks, and I think that that is a very high likelihood that one of them or both will point the finger at each other. Maybe the only way they save themselves. It does look like the mother here is more culpable than the father, but we don't know all the facts yet. But I'm glad they're going to trial. It'll be interesting to see what their defense will be. We just don't know yet.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.